Mr. Teo Ser Luck, you also have 2 cards. Can you take them together?
I have 3 cards, so I take them together.
Sorry?
3 cards.
Oh, 3 cards, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Chairman, forming Enterprise Singapore ESG has been good news for the business sector. Many trade associations and chambers and businesses called for a single agency to focus on supporting local businesses. We have nearly 200,000 SMEs, and they are at different stages of growth, ranging from startups to micro-enterprises, medium to large-sized companies. It would not be easy and impossible to assist all of them. We can help each of them, but impossible to help every single one of them. Well, the first principle of business is to be self-reliant and build a business that is commercially viable, that there's demand for your products or services. So companies should actually manage your expectation when it comes to grants and schemes and the expectation of a single agency like ESG. Competitiveness is as important as self-sufficiency, and both form the essence of what we call the first principles. So we have to find a principle, or we have to find a position of not too little and not too much, and that should form the approach, a middle way for economic planners and companies. This middle way between extravagance and one implies a view of the balance sheet that looks for long-term profitability rather than short-term success. And it should be closely linked to the idea of self-sufficiency. ESG should then play a facilitating role to help kickstart ventures, support international growth as a focus, and develop capabilities for the companies and strengthen them to compete. It should be less about grants than the need to change for the enterprise to scale and to grow. These are what will really help the companies. Could the Minister share what ESG would do for enterprises at different growth stages, and also ideas on internationalizing Singapore's SMEs? The government has been assisting companies, especially SMEs, at their different stages of development through grants and schemes. And with ESG, many of these grants and schemes will be integrated into one single grant. However, this has also caused uncertainty whether the different type of grants that cover different gaps will actually be covered by a single grant. For example, the different grants that is available today, the automation grant under CDG. The aim is to automate process, but there are issues as well. The data has showed that equipment manufacturers make up majority of the claimants. So could the Minister share how SMEs have actually benefited from this grant, and how SMEs from other areas also benefited from this grant, and whether productivity in these respective companies have actually increased? There's also a gray area where equipment manufacturers could potentially push for more sales and use the grant to upsell their equipments. So these are the processes that should be tightened. And hopefully with EDG, the setup of EDG and integrating different grants, CDG and GCP, is a step in the right direction to be more stringent in the process of tightening this. Submission of claims has also been an issue to some. A grant can only be made, or submission of a grant can only be made after a project is completed. Well, we would like to request that it will be helpful to some of the SMEs that once the grant is approved, that there will be an initial advance payment to the SMEs to help them. However, if the project cannot be seen through to completion by the SME, a penalty could be considered to be in place if they fail to meet the required milestones. So integrating the schemes integrating all the grants into a single grant to make it ease of access and application is the step in the right direction. We believe that this will develop the capabilities of the companies better and more effectively. And along with the grant portal and ESG as the administrator, we believe that this will help streamline many of the processes. Could the Minister elaborate how such integration could benefit companies and review examples how it could help? Many large companies or larger companies or MNCs, both foreign and local companies, have set up their base in Singapore. And this not only provides jobs, but opportunities to grow our local SMEs through partnership with the large companies. And since the setup of PACT, P-A-C-T, there have been examples of such partnerships in the areas of innovation, capability upgrading, and knowledge transfer. Most importantly, the scheme provides long-term business opportunities for the SMEs with the larger companies. But I believe that the program can still expand and be enhanced and support more partnership across different sectors. But these sectors have to be selective. Not all sectors you could actually enhance, and some, their partnership cannot be enforced or forced. So some of these large companies can also help the SMEs, not just by providing volume of business, but consultancy basis. For example, in digital marketing or branding, and such PR, branding, and digital marketing are somehow knowledge that is lacking in many of our SMEs. So it's not in the areas of just volumes of business, but it's in the area of services too. So it's good to know that the different partnership schemes will now be streamlined, integrated into one. Could the Minister share with us how PACT has been performed so far, and how will the integration benefit the companies in future?